This video is a continuation of the video on problem 5 from the Math Prep and Learning Lab percent review. And this, we'll start with G and we'll go through L. This is using percent proportions. So we're going to do a percent proportion, so we want it set up as, the percent will be over here. Let's read it first though. Rosie borrowed $4,000 for 2 years at 6% simple interest. How much interest will she have to pay? And what is the total amount she has to pay back? So we know it's 6% interest, and we need an amount and a base. When we're doing something like this, the amount is going to be how much interest she paid. The base is how much the amount is based on. So if she borrows $4,000, how much interest will she have to pay? This will be just for 1 year, but this 2 years means that after we find this out, we're going to have to double it, because this is the simple interest for 1 year. So then we just do the proportion. I have 100x equals 6 times 4,000. 6 times 4 is 24. So it's 24,000. Divide both sides by 100. So simple interest for 1 year is $240. But that's how much interest will she have to pay? $240 for 1 year. So $240 for 2 years is going to be $480. That's the answer to the first question. The second question was what is the total amount she has to pay back? She's going to have to pay back that original $4,000 plus the $480. So she's going to have to pay back $4,480. Lucy works in a bridal shop. She makes a 7% commission on sales. If she sells $18,000 worth of dresses, how much money will she make from her commissions? So again, we're doing the proportion. We have the percent over 100. The percent is 7%. So we're figuring out how much commission will be the amount, and the total sales will be the base. So her total sales is $18,000. And based on that, at 7%, how much will she make? So we have 100 x equals 18,000 times 7. I'll grab my calculator and do that. It's $126,000. $126,000. Divide by 100. It's $1,260 is what she will make. Letter I. Kelly went to Penny's and bought towels. The towels came to $44 before tax. If sales tax is 6%, how much will she have to give the cashier? So be really careful on these, because the tendency is just to set it up, and this would make sense. Percent over 100, and then the amount of tax will be based on the amount of that the towels cost, so the total cost, and I find tax, so I have 100x equals 6 times 44. 6 times 44 is 264. So we divide by 100. So we get, we'll move the decimal point 2 places, $2.64. So a lot of people, that's what they'll put for their answer. You went through all this math, did that, that's the answer you got. But it's asking how much will she have to give the cashier. She doesn't just pay the tax, she has to pay for the towels plus the tax. So she has to pay $46.64. Another way to do this is to, instead of doing 6%, do 106%, because that takes care of paying for the item plus the 6% tax. And if you work it out this way, you're going to come up with the total answer at the end. So you have 100x equals 44 times 106, 4,664, divide by 100, divide by 100, x equals 46.64, because I just moved the decimal point 2 places. So you can do it all at once if you add the item plus the tax. So 100% for the item plus 6% for the tax. Raphael bought a stereo that was on sale for 25% off. If the original price was $350, what was the price he paid before taxes were added on? Be really careful here. Most people would just figure out this 25%, and if you were in Alex, you probably got caught with this a lot. They'll do a discount that'll say 25% off or 25% of. So is it 25% off the regular price or 25% of the regular price? Here it's off. So again, we're going to put the percent over 100. And 100 is the total that the original price was. So this here will be the discount. So we'll do 350 times 25. We'll do X times 100, sorry. And 350 times 25, 8,750. Divide by 100. So move the decimal point 2 places. So it's 8750. Now that's the amount that is taken off. That's the discount. That's not what he's going to pay for the stereo. You have to take the original price and subtract the discount. Get $262.50. The other way you could do this is if it's 25% off, that means he's paying 75% of, because 100 minus 25 is 75. So if it's 25% off, it's 75% of. So you could set the equation up as the amount over, then this is going to be not the discount, but the discount price, the new price. If this isn't making sense and it's confusing you, just go with this. This is more the standard way, but it helps to know that there's this other option too. So then I'm going to do 350 times 75 is 26,250. Divide by 100. Move the decimal point 2 places, so it's $262.50. So this is figuring out if you're paying 75% of the original price. This is saying 25% off the original price, then subtract it from the original price. Two different ways to do that. So the local coffee shop charges $5.99 for coffee and a breakfast sandwich. The owners have decided they want to raise their prices by 6%. What will the new price be for a coffee and a breakfast sandwich? Round to the nearest cents. So if you want to raise it by 6%, you can figure out what 6% of $5.99 is, and then add that to the $5.99. So if I'm raising it by 6%, I would set the equation up like that, and then I would do $5.99 times 6, get 35.94. Sorry, 35.94, divide by 100. That'd move it over to be so I'm going to add, this is how much it would go up. You would add that much to $5.99. And it depends on where you want to round this, but say I round this to 36. It'd be 635. You can do that on your calculator. I just don't want to take the time. So you can do it that way, or just similar to this, you could say if I want the new cost to be 106% of the previous cost, so I want it to be 100%, like what it was before, plus 6% more, then you can do it all at once, like we did it up there. So I'd have 100x equals 106 times 599, 630 4.94. And then I'm going to divide by 100. So I move the decimal point 2 places, so I get 6.3494, which would round to, if we want to round to the pennies, we want to round to the cent, we're going to round to there, it's going to round to 6.35. So again, two ways to do it. You can find the 6% increase and add it to the original price, or you can figure 100%, 106% of the original price. And the last one here. A printer that sells for $225 was marked up to $234. What was the markup rate? So for this, we need to find the difference. So how much did they actually mark it up? If they marked it up to $234 from $225, they marked it up by $9. So that would be the amount compared to the original price would give you the percent markup. So 9 times 100 is 900 by 225 equals 225x. Divide by 225. 900 divided by 225 is 4. So the markup rate was 4%.